Exact published or posted here in the council chambers. If you would join me in rising for a moment of silence and the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to
the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, roll call, please.
Granquist?
Here.
Lange?
Here.
Merrill?
Here.
Clausen? Murin? Jackson?
Here.
Faust?
Here.
File?
Here.
Okay, we'll look for a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I would request that item number 24 be removed from the consent agenda and moved to the regular agenda.
Okay,
And with that, I would make that motion.
okay. Motion and a second to approve the consent agenda, removing item number 24, moving to the regular agenda. Any discussion? No discussion on that, please vote.
All council members present voting in the affirmative.
Okay, and looking for a motion to approve the full agenda with
moved.
the noted change. Okay, please vote.
All council members present voting in the affirmative.
Okay, with that, we would move to item number 24. Looking for a motion to consider approval of an agreement with Steve Ramus, McClowery Engineering Incorporated, to provide general engineering services for the city of Norfolk.
So move, Your Honor.
Okay, and Andy, would you give us some background on this, please?
Sure, no problem. This really comes about, the resignation of the current city engineer, John Heine, leaves a little bit of a gap with some of our work that we're trying to get done with the city and some ongoing projects we have. In looking at this, I think it's definitely helpful and necessary to have some professional engineer. Right now, I think we have Dennis right now currently in the department, but with the demands we have, it would just be nice to have a supplement a little bit to help with some review and provide some of those support services for our staff, just to keep some projects moving forward. Reached out to the McClowerys. They've done a little bit of work with the city right now, but not a whole lot in the area. And I think we can avoid some certain conflicts that we have also with some other projects that are going on from outside and working with the city right now, so I don't really foresee any conflicts of interest in that way. So it's just really to get us through until we get somebody on board permanently and to fill that vacancy we have and or will have after Wednesday. So that's really when this will take effect, and as soon as we have somebody on board full time, there will be need for this.
Okay, thank you, Andy. A couple things. I think thanks are due to John Heine for his service to the community, and best of wishes, as I understand he's looking to take a position within the private sector, and so we wish him the best. Second, this is, I think, an opportunity for us to stay on top of several ongoing projects that we have while we have this gap in engineering, and allows us to do a search for a city engineer in the meantime. So any questions for Andy or comments on the council?
You know, I guess my question was, how does this affect us on the broader base that, we have the position of a city engineer with certain duties and roles as called out by our ordinances that way. So how are we affected by using an outside source?
I think to answer that, if there was an issue that will come up with that part of the statutory responsibilities, we would come back with something that would need to be more urgent, I guess, if something were need to be implemented for that. And I think that may happen happen. I don't really know what that, really what I really wanted to do now is to get somebody on board to help with some of these things, just to keep it going. If we have to look at doing an interim appointment of some kind, we'd look at bringing that back in August to do that. So I think just in talking with our existing staff we have, I think we're fine right now doing this. I think in August there might be some things that we need to have for actual city engineer title. We'll certainly have something in place for that at that time. Bring something back.
So will part of their responsibilities, because I believe John was doing a lot of the Norfolk Avenue Bridge project, which, is kind of going to start hitting crunch time here, probably sooner rather than later.
Yep, and I don't have a concrete answer for you on exactly some of those items. I think those would be some things we'll have to work out internally on making sure what prioritizing those things we can get done and have more time dedicated. So it's certainly going to be a strain, I think, in the short term, but hopefully we can work hard to get some more full time and keep things going. So we'll do the best we can with everything.
Thank you.
There are questions, Council, on this? Important to remember Dennis remains in place as Public Works Director and has been part of these projects too as they've begun and continue on. And so the city engineer position has been posted and we're have initiated a search process there. So with that, any other questions, comments, Council? Okay. If not, please vote.
All council members present voting in the affirmative.
Okay, moving to the public hearings and related action segment of the agenda, item number 26. I will open public hearings, two public hearings, items number 26 and 28, jointly at the request of Fountain Point LLC, Fountain Point 2 LLC, and Norfolk Medical Real Estate LLC to consider zoning change from A, Agricultural District to C3 Commercial District, Service Commercial District on property generally located at the southwest corner of 37th Street and Highway 275. And also public hearing to consider zoning change from A to R3, multiple family residential district on property generally located at the southwest corner of 37th Street and Highway 275. And to open the hearing, Val, would you please kick it off with some background and context on this project?
Yes, thank you. I brought up this diagram that the applicant turned in with the zone changes. It's a little simpler way to look at the two zone changes that are being requested tonight. It's similar to what we did last council meeting where it was one project with two different zone changes being requested because the proposed uses don't fit all in one zoning category. So that's why you'll see C3 up along Highway 275 and then a pocket of C3 farther south and then R3 to the south and then a pocket of R3 more in the center there. The C3 zoning category is in conformance with the comprehensive plan and the R3 is not. So that's something why we wanted to split it up too, just in case there were opposition to the R3. I have not gotten any opposition letters or phone calls for that. And this is, like you said, in the southwest corner of 275. I believe the applicant is here to give more explanation on possibly what they want to do in those different pockets, if you have questions.
Okay, very good. So it's a public hearing. Anyone wishing to make comment on these requested zone changes, this is the time to do so.
Mayor, council members, basically I think we've went over a bunch of it. I'm just here to answer questions on the differences. If you have questions on why parts of it are C3 and why parts of it are the R3.
Mike, can you introduce yourself?
Oh, I'm sorry. Mike Anderson. I'm from Lincoln until next Monday, and I'm from Norfolk. So
Excellent.
moving back. So just basically, if there are any questions you could have for me, I'd be glad to explain. The R3 is the apartment component we're looking at on the south side of the property. And then the other part of the R3 is where we're looking to put a possible assisted living with a memory care.
Mike, refresh our memories a little bit on the phasing of the project in the R3. Would you initiate work at the same time on the apartments in the medical center, or what is the timeline? What's the plan for that?
Mayor, we're looking at, we'd like to be able to come out of the ground with the medical component this fall. We'd like to be able to come out of the ground with the assisted living memory care and the apartments as well. We'd like to bring them all three up at the same time if we can. We're currently looking at putting in 100 apartments with a pool and a clubhouse.
In the larger R3 section?
Yes, on the south part that butts up against Warren Garage Door,
Yeah.
yes.
You said the smaller R3 section was possible? Or is it more definite? On the assisted living portion?
It's high probability,
Okay, all right.
very high probability.
And in case it should not, what's the backup plan for that piece of property?
For that piece, we don't have one.
Okay. All right. Okay. That high probability is good, though.
It's high. It's high. It's contingent on what happens with the city. But good organization, so we feel good. We're also in contact on, I think that we will have another use in there that will be a good-sized use in there that will continue on the continuum of care, going from apartments to assisted living to memory care and possibly a skilled nursing facility as well.
Thank you.
Okay.
Any other questions for Mike? Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you.
It's a public hearing. Anyone else wishing to make comment? Seeing none, I will move to, well, before I do that, commission report, please, Beth.
The Norfolk Planning Commission held a public hearing on July 5th, 2017, at the request of Fountain Point LLC, Fountain Point 2 LLC, and Norfolk Medical Real Estate LLC to consider a zoning change from A, agricultural, to C3, service commercial, on property generally located at the southwest corner of 37th Street and Highway 275. The Planning Commission recommends approval of the request on a 7-0 vote. And then the next one. The Norfolk Planning Commission held a public hearing on July 5th at the request of Fountain Point LLC, Fountain Point 2 LLC, and Norfolk Medical Group, or Real Estate LLC, to consider a zoning change from A to R3 on property in the southwest corner of 37th Street and 275, and the Planning Commission recommends approval on the, of the request on a 7-0 vote.
Okay, with that, I will close both public hearings and move to item number 27, looking for a motion to consider ordinance number 5485, approving a zoning change from A, agricultural district, to C3, service commercial district, on property generally located at the southwest corner of 37th Street and Highway 275.
Your Honor, I'd offer for consideration ordinance number 5485.
Second that, Your Honor.
Okay. Val, anything to add on this beyond what we talked about in the public hearing? Okay. Any other questions or comments, discussion in council? Pretty straightforward. Okay. Short title, please, Beth.
An ordinance of the City of Norfolk, Madison County, Nebraska, amending the zoning district map of the City of Norfolk, Nebraska, providing when this ordinance shall be in full force and effect, and providing for publication of this ordinance in pamphlet form.
Okay, please vote.
All council members present voting in the affirmative, ordinance 5485 carries on first reading.
Your Honor, due to the fact that there was no opposition, and this is actually a really good situation for the city, I would move that we suspend the rules and pass ordinance 5485 on second and third reading.
Okay. Any discussion, council? If not, please vote.
All council members present voting in the affirmative, ordinance 5485 carries on second and third.
Item number 29, look for a motion to consider ordinance number 5486, approving a zoning change from A, agricultural district to R3, multifamily residential district on property generally located at the southwest corner of 37th Street and Highway 275.
Your Honor, I move consideration of ordinance 5486.
Okay. Any further discussion, council, on this? If not, short title, please, Beth.
An ordinance of the City of Norfolk, Madison County, Nebraska, amending the zoning district map of the City of Norfolk, Nebraska, providing when this ordinance shall be in full force and effect, and providing for publication of this ordinance in pamphlet form.
Okay, please vote.
All council members present voting in the affirmative, ordinance 5486 carries on first reading.
Again, Your Honor, I would move that we suspend the rules and pass ordinance number 5486 on second and third reading.
Okay. If no discussion, council, please vote.
All council members present voting in the affirmative, ordinance 5486 carries on second and third.
Okay, item number 30, I will open this public hearing to consider the redevelopment plan for the Fountain Point redevelopment area. And Andy, will you please kick this off for us?
Well, this is the Fountain Point redevelopment plan. Community Development Agency has considered this, as well as the Planning Commission. This is the official public hearing for the plan tonight, so this will be the last step in the approval of the plan itself. And again, this is related to the whole Fountain Point project, so the developers are here tonight if there's any questions. But this really just will finalize some of the things we've been talking about for all the uses that are out there. They do intend to utilize tax increment financing for the project for some of the infrastructure and grading costs and other costs that are outlined in the state statute that they're allowed to use it for. So that is the reason for this. Once this plan is, if this plan is approved tonight, it would then move on back to the agency to approve the redevelopment agreement that will actually spell out the terms of the tax increment financing. So with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions, and developers are in the audience tonight. If there are any questions.
Okay, any questions for Andy on that? If not, this is a public hearing. Anyone wishing to make comment at this point, can do so. Okay, looks like another procedural step forward in the redevelopment efforts here as they relate to the TIF process. If no further comment, I will close the public hearing and move to item number 31. Look for consideration of resolution number 2017-47, approving the redevelopment plan for the Fountain Point redevelopment area.
I'll make the motion, Your Honor.
Second?
Okay. And anything to add on that? Okay. Any last questions, comments, council? If not, please vote.
All council members present voting in the affirmative, resolution 2017-47 is adopted.
Okay, moving to the regular agenda, item number 32, for a motion to consider approval of ordinance number 5484, annexing a tract of land generally located south of the Elkhorn River between First Street and 13th Street. Ordinance number 5484 passed on first reading at the July 3rd council meeting.
Your Honor, I move consideration of ordinance number 5484. Do I have it correct?
Second.
Okay, and Dennis, would you refresh us on this, please?
This is a continuation of the housing development plan for south of the river around Middleman's Lake. This is requested by the landowner to annex basically all of the property that is part of the lake development that Mr. Middleman or one of his entities owns, that he has control of. includes First Street and Sherwood Road. Leaves out all the commercial development down there. And answer any questions you might have.
Okay. Any questions for Dennis? Discussion, council. Okay.
This is second reading, and state statute requires that each of these readings be on a separate meeting.
Right, okay. So, again, marching forward on the process here of voluntary annexation as it relates to the Meadowman Lake project. If no discussion on council, short title, please, Beth.
An ordinance of the City of Norfolk, Nebraska to annex to said city a tract of land composed of Meadowman's subdivision, a portion of Riviera Addition, a portion of the northwest quarter, and a portion of the southwest quarter of Section 2, Township 23 North, Range 1 west of the 6th PM, a portion of the northwest quarter of Section 11, Township 23 North, Range 1 west of the 6th PM, a portion of the northeast quarter of Section 10, Township 23 North, Range 1 west of the 6 PM, and a portion of the northeast quarter of Section 4, Township 23 North, Range 1 west of the 6 PM, all located in Madison County, Nebraska.
Okay, please vote.
All council members present voting in the affirmative, ordinance 5484 carries on second reading only.
Okay, that concludes this meeting of the Norfolk City Council. To note, we are hosting a town hall meeting in a few minutes regarding the proposed Riverfront Overlay District. So if you're here for that, just stay put. We'll start that meeting in just a few minutes as we get set up.